Couples, do you want an unforgettable visual guaranteed to help you get in the mood? Well, that's what we're talking about today, a practical tool to help you create excitement in your married sex life. Hi, I'm Mary Whitman Ortiz, Christian sex educator and relationship coach. And on this channel, we talk about how to overcome struggles in sex and intimacy by providing communication and connection tips. And what is today's question? Do you want an unforgettable visual to help you get in the mood? So I have some questions for you first. Why will this visual work? You need to know that to believe it, to do it. And this is what's going on behind the scenes. Women are not automatic and instant, usually, in their interest in sex. They have kind of that slow build and they need some emotional things to happen for them want to engage. So that is part of the reason this visual is going to work. Number two, she can be responsive once she gets there, but she needs help to get there. Okay, this visual is going to help with that too. And when you show intentions, what you're saying is you're worth it to me. So this extra effort is absolutely going to be the sweet spot. Okay, what is this visual that I keep hinting about? Well, I call it the fajita model. And no, we're not going to go eat Mexican food, but it will absolutely stay with you and give you some steps, some understanding on how to get in the mood or help your spouse to get in the mood. What happens with the fajita model? So just picture this couple and he's like, hey, hon, do you want to go out to dinner? And she's like, yeah, I don't know. And so he says, where do you want to go? You want to do Mexican, Italian? You pick. Doesn't matter to me. They finally get to the restaurant. They've gone to the Mexican place. And he's like, well, what do you want to eat? Oh, I don't know. And looking over the menu, there's this lull. Things are dragging on. And finally, a wait staff comes out from the kitchen. They've got this enormous platter. And you can tell that there's a fajita because it's sizzling. And you get the whole aroma. And she's like, woo, everything just changed for me. I know what I want. I want a fajita and I want it now. So that is the example about how her response, how her desire, how her arousal, how she can get in the mood, how it builds. And there are important things to incorporate along the way. I know you'll never go to a Mexican restaurant and think the same things again, right? So when we are creating this, let's look at how it applies to your sex life. So first of all, you've got to set the tone. They went to a restaurant, so set the tone. This is, you need privacy in your home or wherever you have decided to pursue intimacy. You need to have energy to be able to engage one another. If it's a low energy day, just give that grace to your spouse and no, today's just not a good day, and that's okay. You need to have enough time. If you're like, oh, I don't know, can we squeeze this in? I mean, sometimes that builds excitement, but just keep that in the overall plan. What else do you need to consider to make intimacy amazing? To create that mood, you're going to flirt. You're going to give compliments. You're going to have this building, this sense of closeness and anticipation that is growing, growing, growing. You have to be intentional to make that happen. And you're going to engage her heart, her mind, her body. And I keep saying her, and it does work both ways, but it's more typical for women to need some assistance with building in their anticipation. And what does foreplay consist of? The nuts and bolts. I want to give you a formula to remember. Here we go. It is words and touch. What kind of words? It's the triple A words. These are appreciation, affirmation, affection. That's how you build emotional closeness. That's how you have the connection, the security. That's how she's brought to the table, so to speak. Spirit, soul, and her body will follow. She has to give her mental yes, and her heart has to be on board. So those words count. You incorporate that in your foreplay. What is the touch? So the touch is going to start with indirect touching, not this just grab the genitalia. So indirect, then direct. It's going to be soft before it's firm. There's going to be building and pauses within intensity. There's variety. Foreplay is a dance, and you learn your partner. You learn what they like. You learn what you enjoy giving, receiving. All of that is being intentional and showing love. Whew! Getting hot in here, right? Listen, has this helped? Has this answered some questions for you? I hope so. If yes, please give me a thumbs up. And I have one last thing for you. This is the how do you get in the mood checklist. Number 1, take the temperature of your connection. Are you flowing? Are you fighting? Are you freezing each other out? If you're having a bunch of cold shoulder time, maybe you need to talk before you are pursuing intimacy. And that is a part of emotional connection, so it can still get you there. Number 2, up level your kindness. You can do this through love languages. Do you know what your spouse responds to? That is the perfect time to do it. Number 3, ask, is today a good day? For you, for us, for the kids? Think about the whole thing that's going on. And when I say kids, I just mean, are there too many things weighing on your thoughts that are going to interfere? Or are the kids have special needs? Are they sick? So many things to consider when you are pursuing this. Number 4, pick your flirting selection. Is this going to be a text or a call or loving pats? Get a whole variety of things that you can do to flirt and build that connection. And number 5, personal grooming and room prep counts. We talked about the emotional things first, but the logistics all make a difference. So that is going to help you get in the mood. But maybe you would like a little more support. Then I can't wait to tell you about my arousal pathway. It's a relationship tool that includes a video and a study guide. It even gives a script. What are the kinds of things that you might say to each other? What prompts do you need to have about language you use for sexual body parts and activities? There's so much there. Just check the link in below and you take you right there. That will absolutely help your marriage. Thanks so much for joining me today. Remember that God's design for healthy sex is fulfilling and thrilling intimacy in marriage.